There's Mr. Frank. Yeah, well read. You spelled red wrong. It's R-E-D. Oh. What's going on, Frank? 78 degrees here and sunny. It's going to be in the 80s this afternoon and 80s for the next, I think, 6 or 7 days. And then it's going to drop down to a couple of mid 70s day, and I think in a couple weeks it will be back to like 68 or something, freezing like that. You are well bred. That is very true. Bred, you are bred well. Ding, ding, ding. Are you the guy from Puddle Mud? Isn't one of those guys? Isn't that guy dead? That the band that the lead singer overdosed or something? If that's the case, then yes, that is definitely me. I need a piece of chocolate, but I don't think I got. Oh. Hershey effing kiss, bitches. Hershey effing kiss. Cold here. How cold is it? How cold? You tell me how cold it is, and I'll tell you if it's cold. Tomorrow's either going to be a black ice day or 56 inches of snow. Nice. That's really nice. Timmy sent me back the edits to my Beers and Fears story today. I'll probably work them next week. I think the Puddle of Mud guy is dead. Didn't the singer Puddle of Mud die? Or am I thinking of another band? I don't know. Let's look it up. Or maybe it just feels like they should be all dead. Holy shit, they got like 400 past members in the band. A lot of blah 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 for a band I don't give two shits about. I don't even know what the big song is. course, they did a cover album. And maybe Nobody is Dead. Uh, Lead singer's been accused of lip syncing during live performances. He threw a microphone and a beer at the audience. He was booed off stage in Ohio after lip syncing to the songs. Apparently, Fred Durst signed them. Then the singer criticized Fred Durst in 2004. What an asshole. I guess nobody died in that band. What band am I thinking of then? She fucking hates me. Scanlon is his last name? That's their big stupid song? Yeah, I never liked that song. It seemed like a bunch of those songs all came out at once like that. What the hell band am I thinking of? One of the crappy bands from that period. Papa Roach, maybe? Did the guy from Papa Roach die? I don't know. The guy from Huey Lewis and the News, maybe I'm thinking of? I don't know who I'm thinking of. I just thought somebody died. Like, the dude from Sublime overdosed. Yeah, I get it. I get it. You're really cool. The dude from Blind Melon. Yeah, I get it. What was the band that the lead singer, like Three Doors Down or Third Eye Blind? One of those bands. Dude was homeless. John Call. So, John, we're talking 90s alternative music today. Alexander, what band did the guy from Puddle of Mud die in? Soulfly. I'm not sure. Nice. I was not a fan of most of those bands. They had like one song. Remember, like the mid '90s. I went to when I was managing bands. We were out in I want to say Altoona, Pennsylvania, or something, at a flea market before a concert, before a show, and this dude had this huge box of CDs, and it was like $1 a CD. And I'm looking through, and it was all 90s, like Pearl Jam and Sponge and Cake and Butthole Surfers, all kinds of just crap like that. And one of the crew guys was with me, Vinny, and Vinny said, "I'll give you $10 for this whole box." And the guy's like, "Yeah, take it." And then we bought it. He bought it, and then he just gave it to me. So I was like, "Oh, Sponge, I know that 16 Candles song. I'll put that on." "Oh, Bush, I know the whatever song that is." And that's why I had heard of some of those crappy songs, but not like a whole thing. I think the guy from Three Doors Down is homeless. Let's check that. I'm gonna punch in Three Doors Down, homeless man. The bass players in prison. See, I'm taking so many fucking meds right now. I can't even think. I thought it was Three Doors Down. It's one of those type of bands, and the lead singer was on drugs and was homeless. What's the other one that has like a number in it? Wait, you're not thinking? No, no, I know Smash Mouth. Smashing Blumpkins. No, that's a different band. Chad will know for sure. Yeah. What's up, Chad? Bush, Pearl Jam, and Our Lady Peace were totally dope back then and still are, in my opinion. Our Lady Peace, I had that CD as well in that box. Bush stole my wife. Gavin is a sexy beast. Hello, hello. Chad, what's the 90s alternative band that the lead singer was on drugs and was homeless? I believe there's like a number in the. It's like a police call number. No, not Blink 192. Not some 50s. It's like a police call. Not 311. I'm like, it's like something like stupid, like Lefty 7 5 or something dumb like that. I remember them being like an acoustic kind of band. 5150 Rescue 911. uh, this is gonna kill me. And I'm this band, and then it's not gonna even be. What am I gonna list every? OU812. No. So close though. I mean, could be there's a billion. They were one hit wonders. Yes, they had like one song, like every other band in the '90s. I want to say the number 7 is in the name of the band for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah, a little bit after Sly Stone. Snowbart, no. No, not Chumbawamba. I'm sure none of them were ever homeless. So many bands. This is going to drive me fucking nuts now. Not Fugazi. But not Seven Dust, not Samantha Seven. Wasn't Corn. Wasn't Corn. Was not Luscious Jackson. Wasn't Matchbox 20. Seven Mary 3. Thank you. Right? That's the band. Seven Mary 3. Like I said, there's a 7 in there. Cumbersome, that song. Yeah. not not Jesus Jones. They're from Williamsburg. I don't know. I can't even find this. Anyway, I thought that dude had gone with like drug addict and was like homeless, living on the streets and stuff. Not Jenny Jones. Isn't that guy also in Eagles of Death Metal? I have no idea. Nothing good ever came out of Williamsburg, or gone into Williamsburg for that matter. Speaking of Virginia, Tom is on his way to Virginia now. He has left the frigid cold of upstate New York. He's driving down. Him and his girl are going to Virginia for tonight and tomorrow. And then on Friday he will be here. And then by Monday or Tuesday his furniture will actually show up at the new house. So he's staying with us for a couple 3 days. So I hope he doesn't get here Friday like when I'm on Twitch, you know what I'm saying? That would be annoying. Ask Chad if he knows who the guy, not the guy from Smash Mouth, but who else, and not the guy from Sublime, but who else killed himself or died, overdosed. Some one-hit wonder from the 90s. I want to say, we were talking like Papa Roach, something like that. I don't know. What a nightmare. Tom just walks in from off screen like a 90s sitcom. Hey, yeah, and then you guys all just laugh. Canned laughter at that point. I'm hoping they get here and they get their furniture and stuff here, because then I get my wife back. What's out there? What's out there? A squirrel or something? What are we chasing? Since when am I the 90s trivia? Since I am on so much medication right now, I can't friggin' think straight. And you're the professor. I was reading some stupid article last night because I couldn't sleep. So I'm just going through random like Instagram things, and it's like the most overrated bands in the world. And number 3 on that list was the Misfits. And number 2 was the Ramones. And the rest of them, some of those bands I never even heard of. But I'm like, how can the Ramones and the Misfits be overrated? You're like a moron. You're writing, probably the guy who wrote it probably wasn't even alive when those bands were doing anything, you know? Guns N' Roses was also on that list. Like at number 9 or something. I'm like, this list is dumb. Yup, Tom. I'm just going to read it as it says. You hope Tom Berserk Sloke. He's Tom Allen on Home Improvement. Tim Allen. And then the guy in the 90s been in. I know, right? That's why I was like, I named like 7 of them. There was one specific one. They had like one hit. I'm thinking of maybe Papa Roach, something like that. And then the guy like immediately super OD'd after that. Most of them. You're thinking of Dead Guy, a hardcore punk band that was active in the 1990s. No. I knew all those guys. They used to play with Human Remains and Ripping Corpse all the time. Oh, Feather Here's Mister, right? I mean, they basically going, they didn't really create much of a legacy, and the music was just a rip-off of 60s songs with a horror slant, and then the Ramones were just basically a rip-off of 60s surfer music, and I was like, you're just an idiot. Idiot! Fucking spammerist. This guy calls all the time. I Google who's the Get Jet from that 90s band, and that's the answer I got. So it's correct. All right. Motley Crue, Radiohead, and Coldplay are the top 3 overrated. I can't remember what I'm watching. Oh, we're watching. We're like 4 episodes into Day of the Jackal, I believe. And they played like 2 or 3 Radiohead songs in it so far. And I'm like, I've never heard these songs, and I'm like, these guys are awful. Even their big hits. I'm like, these guys suck. Coldplay also awful. Motley Crue, yeah, you know what? Motley Crue has not aged well. They were great when I was 14. Great lyrics about banging chicks in elevators. Don't shoot shotgun. Great music in that show. Are you fucking nuts, Sean? That has to be the worst soundtrack ever. Ever. I'm like, oh, I finally know one of these songs. It's a fucking Who song that I've heard about 1,000 times. And everything else is just whiny bitch singing. No thank you. She loves my rooster. Yep. Crue's first album, okay, I'll admit it's not bad. The first album, even Shout at the Devil, for the time, great album. And now, no. It has not aged well for me. And then there's like one, maybe 2 songs on each album after that are decent. But the rest of the album's awful. Less Than Zero soundtrack. That's a very, very good soundtrack. Last Action Hero soundtrack. This is final. What are we doing? We're just naming. You know, my favorite soundtrack album of all time is Judgment Night. Phenomenal. Less Than Zero is a great sound, especially the Danzig and Bankel songs. And today's soundtrack. I was never really a big soundtrack guy. I did watch that Billy Corgan's Carneyland series, eight 30-minute episodes on Prime. It's pretty good. About him buying the NWA wrestling organization. So it's like a wrestling promotion thing to promote that, but then it's also him getting married, and then it's also Smashing Pumpkins on tour. A little bit of everything. Was not bad at all. Clark sounded, but the original, where among the Love Among Freaks did all the songs. The Bravest and Butthead Experience soundtrack. I only really like soundtracks that have original songs for the soundtrack, and otherwise it's just a compilation tape. Rock and Wrestling Connections. I mean, obviously that one. Listening to Hulk Hogan singing, yeah. My wife is staying, at her mom's until Tom and Jess get here, and she said, I think it was last night or the night before. She's like, oh. So her mother watches, she has dementia. So she watches this, she just puts a channel on, and she just watches it for like 12 hours. Even if it's the same show. So she'll watch Castle or The Rookie, those shows over and over, and it's like she's never seen the episode. But she changed the channel, and she's watching Walker, Texas Ranger. And my wife's like, oh my God, we're watching Walker, Texas Ranger, and Hulk Hogan is on it. And I said, did he use the N-word yet? And she said, no, but he's called 1,000 people brother. I said, well, that's Hulk Hogan. That's some classic stuff right there. She might be a little confused with Tropic Thunder. No, they and her aunt Vicky, who lives across the yard, she watches Gunsmoke every day for like 12 hours. And I remember one time we were going to get lunch or something. She's like, "All right, well, I got to get home because Gunsmoke is on." And I'm like, "Is it a new episode? Like, is it going to be a new episode of Gunsmoke, or is it one of the ones you've seen? I don't know, a million times, because it wasn't like they had 50 seasons of Gunsmoke." I've been watching To Kill Time at Night, and when I don't want to put anything on, Live PD, the cop thing. I've been just putting that on because they have it on whatever channel for like, I don't know, like 10 straight hours. And then I usually put that on, and then I just usually take a nap during the middle of it. Between the car chases and the grabbing the guy, dragging him out of his car because he has drugs on him. Between those episodes. I just want to get this page done. Last night was the first night in about 6 weeks I've slept the entire night through. And I went to sleep about 10:30 last night, sitting up on the couch. Apparently I got into a good position because my sciatica did not hurt. My neck was not hurting. And I woke up at 8:30 this morning. And I was like, holy crap, I slept for like 9 straight hours. And the only reason I woke up is because I had to pee really bad. And I was like, oh, this is going to hurt when I get up, because the worst thing with sciatica is being in one position for too long. I got up, no pain. I was like, all right, this is it. I'm cured. I went to the bathroom, walked about 2 feet, and all of a sudden, shooting pain. Yeah, I'm not. It's not as bad. I have the. I'm about a 3.5 right now with the pain, but I'm also sitting on a ice pack, which I switch off. You were basically about to, yeah, it hurt. This pain is like women always complain about giving birth. This is worse. I'd give birth in a heartbeat. Trade this pain off. But I've been also trying to eat better. So, night before last, I made, how did I make? Shrimp. Shrimp and broccoli. In the air fryer. Not the broccoli, the shrimp. And I used some soy sauce and some garlic and sesame oil, and they were just fucking delicious with broccoli. And then last night I made cod fillets, 3 cod fillets. I overcooked them a little bit. They were a little tougher than I would have liked them. And chopped up red potatoes, and I seasoned them in some seasoning thing. You know, my wife has 4,000 trillion seasonings. Soy sauce is not a condiment because I eat it. Why do we have this argument all the time? And soy sauce was added in the. It wasn't added like a dipping sauce or anything. Soy sauce was literally part of the cooking of the shrimp. So I had cod last night. I'm trying to do one meal. My dinner every night is going to be better food, usually seafood. Today for lunch I had about 15 mozzarella cheese sticks, mozzarella cheese sticks for lunch. Yesterday I had a pork roll sandwich for lunch. So I'm trying. No. Yes, I had pierogies. Yes, I had pierogies, and I dipped them in salsa, which is not a condiment because I eat it. Barbecue sauce is not a condiment. Soy sauce is not a condiment. Salsa, Not a condom. What if we ejaculated soy sauce from our tear ducts? I would imagine that would be painful, right? Do you think that would hurt? I'm not sure. The other day I did have what are you doing? You better pick that fucking shit up. Alright, good. Fucking dude just walking and his dog just took a giant fucking shit on my lawn. Right next to the little free library too. That's crappy. Yeah, you're looking at the house, motherfucker. I see you. You better fucking stick your hand in that bag and pick that shit up. Alright. You gotta walk your dog, Frank, every night or no? You just let the dog just shit on the lawn. Alright. Face it, you love all sorts of condiments. I don't love any condiments, you son of a bitch. Pico de gallo, delicious, not a condiment. Olive tapenade, I don't know what that is. People who don't pick up after the dogs belong in their own sorrow. Yeah. There's a woman, big African American woman, who has a dog, and she just lets the dog shit, and then she's on her phone, and then she just keeps walking. And I'm gonna fucking yell at her next time I see her out here. Luckily, she'd been shitting across the street. She'd been shitting on Neil's yard and the pool table guy's yard. I still call him pool table guy. He hasn't probably had a pool table in about a year and a half. Next page, even though it's not next page, Mr. Frank. My dog is dead. Well, that's not good. Then you're not picking him up. The answer then simply is no. Pool table Neil. No. That's a different. No. Neil is Sinbad, the comedian, not the guy with the sword. And pool table guy is guy who had a pool table. He has this little sports car, though, that he keeps the top down. He keeps it in his garage. And then every 3-4 days, he goes out there, opens the garage door. Oh, my wife is here. I think my mother-in-law is also here. He opens the garage door and he's blasting really garbage R&B music. And he lets it just sit and idle for like 20 minutes with awful music playing. I'm like, no. That's what he does. My wife had to run by and pick up a couple of things. I think she had to pick up her laptop, actually. I think her mom went and got her something. Oh, she went and got new glasses. That's what it is. She went and got her eye examined. And now they'll probably pop in here for a bit. She says, I don't know if I'm going to leave or shut this thing down. I might shut this thing down. Said I ran out of there's no more ice. It's just now basically just a pad. All these people he talks about, I never see them when I'm there. I know, right? It's like that's the 1 week that none of these people are home or something. It's the weirdest thing. You've never seen the Chinese lady jogging? I saw her 5 times this morning. Yeah. What's up? How's it going?
Good. I gotta get my laptop and some dog food stuff to take.
All right, make sure you get dog food.
Yeah, thank you. She's gotta work. She can't just go there and sit.
Nope. Chad says, letting your car idle with that bass booming, rattling everyone's windows is probably my biggest pet peeve. Yeah, it's loud, and then it echoes in his garage. And so, and he does it like every 3-4 days. He used to have this pickup truck that looked like 100 years old in his driveway, and like the muffler was off it or something. And he would let that thing idle for like an hour sometimes. So annoying. Literally, he lives in the middle of the largest desert in Florida. Nothing for miles but Gila monsters. Yes. We used to do that in the 90s, then we stopped being teenagers. Exactly, right? I mean, this is a guy who's probably like close to 60. So that guy has a little tiny sports car. And then he'll pull it out and he'll literally drive around the block and come back with the music blasting. Then he lets it idle for like 10 more minutes and then he shuts it off. The guy next to me, Harry, also has a little sports car, and every single morning he goes somewhere and he has the worst smooth jazz blasting. I mean, it is just awful. 90s were mid. 80s is where it's at. You know what I'm saying? But the rest of it, pretty mid. I'm not a huge fan of the 70s. I'm going to tell you why. Thanks for asking. Yeah, I was like just a little kid. I was born in 69. The 70s were, I don't know, they're all right. I'm not a huge fan of the music from the 70s for the most part. Well, that's because my mother listened to all that stuff. So I'm like, yeah, I don't want to listen to any of this stuff. This is not my music. Therefore, I got stuck with Motley Crue. Harry's Harry sports car doesn't do easy. He wishes. He never reaches. If Inazoo started playing Little Band, I'd start slashing tires at night. 70s hair was a thing to marvel at. Well, yeah. Yeah, there is that. My dad had that giant 70s porn stash for a while. All kinds of crazy Little River Band. Like, it's impossible to go 70s hair, so my hair just won't grow like that. Yeah, it was it wasn't just a fashion thing. It was just basically, it was genetics. It was DNA. My 70s were awesome. Kiss, the Stones, AC/DC, Sabbath. Yeah, but I got into all that stuff in the 80s. I'm never really a big Stones fan. I mean, there are a bunch of songs I really like, but not like I would go out of my way. Yeah, AC/DC for me started with Back in Black, and then I eventually went backwards. Sabbath was really the same thing. I got into Dio Sabbath, then I went backwards. Kiss was Creatures of the Night in '82, then I went backwards. So I really got into those bands in the '80s. So for me, their '80s stuff was always better than their earlier stuff. And again, there's a lot of great songs from those bands. I'm not saying I dislike any of them, but there's not a ton of bands from the '70s that I like. I like a ton of bands from the '80s. I grow an awesome porn says it would be all gray now. Getting old, so yeah, I'm starting to get a little bit of gray. I don't know if you can see it in this camera angle. Getting a little bit of gray myself. Bad Company, Bread, the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, Catherine Tennille. You guys are just throwing these bands out there. Like we started with '90s alternative bands, trying to figure out which band didn't have somebody in their band that overdosed, and now we're getting into Captain and Tennille, Cool in the Gang. Bootsy Collins is the shit. You know what I'm saying? You can't goof on Bootsy Collins. Good stuff. Good stuff. I'm gonna wrap this up in a couple minutes. I don't know where Nick is. I know Tom is likely in a car right now. Hopefully in a car, heading south. Look, Chris Christopherson, yeah. Christopher Cross. Yeah, like I said, what's that Yacht Rock documentary? I saw there's a Tom Green documentary also on Prime that just came out. I might check that out tonight. Who can say? Who can say? All right. I'm out of here. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. Appreciate it. I will not be back tomorrow, but I will. I should be back on Friday. If I'm not on Friday, that means that Tom came at a very inopportune time. You also have a good one, Nick. Thanks for popping in finally. I'm not a Tom Green fan either, but it's got to be some crazy stuff on that one, I would imagine. Thanks for popping in, Chad. Thanks for popping in, Sean. Thanks for popping in, Nick. Thanks for popping in, everybody. Bye.